guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angie from Simply Angeled here. I am going to show you guys today how to do a basic or a simple stitch. In my previous video, if you haven't seen it yet, I will put the link on this video, but it was how to do the single crochet stitch, and I'm going to continue to do this small series to show you guys how to do the basic stitches, and that way you can at least learn how to start off if you're a beginner crocheter. Okay, so for this project I'm going to be using this scrap yarn that I had in my box, and which is also the same yarn, by the way, used in my last video. I just undid the project, and then I'm going to be using it for this. The same thing with the crochet hook, is the same crochet hook I used in my previous video as well. So I figured it would be good to stay consistent when showing you guys these basic stitches, to have the exact same yarn and use the same crochet hook. That way you don't see a huge variation in change if I use like a thicker yarn, for example, or if I use a bigger or small crochet hook. So I will stay consistent by just using the same yarn, the same color, and the same crochet hook. Okay, so this particular video I'm actually going to continue to show you guys how to do a single crochet, but this one is going to be if you were to go through just the back loop or the back part of your chain, or the front only, because it does make a difference. If you are new here, check out the last video that I posted, which is about how to do a single crochet stitch, and you will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's get started. So again, you're going to be doing this probably different, and if you're a beginner crocheter and you have learned to do it the way I do, this is what I do. I loop the yarn through my finger like this to be able to control it better, and this helps me not make it too loose or too tight. Okay, and then we're going to start off with a slip knot. Okay, so a slip knot, again, for me, everybody does it different, but for me, I start off by putting the yarn over my middle finger like this, okay, and then I take my thumb and I hold it. I take the tail of the yarn that I have and I bring it over my thumb so that it creates that X on the back like that, and then I take my middle finger again and I hold it. Okay, I remove that yarn that is looping around my thumb and I still hold it like this. I take my crochet hook, I put it through the hole, I yarn over from under, pull it through the space, and then I pull. Okay, and if you pull this big side, then you make it tighter like that. Okay, so this is how I do my slip knot. So however you do your slip knot, you will start by doing that, and then we will create our foundation chain. So if you haven't done the chains before, you pretty much loop your hook through your yarn through the hook like that, bring it through the space that you have, the little hole that you had previously, and then you'll continue to do that, and this is how you do your chain. Okay, I probably explained it better in the last video, because I will not be explaining it in detail every time we do these small how-to videos. I want you to go and check that one out before you come to this one, because it will actually help you understand all this better. Okay, so this is how you create your foundation chain, and of course, depending on the project, you will know how many chains you need, whether it's an even number, an uneven number, or it doesn't matter. You'll do the chains first, and most projects, to be honest, will start off with at least some kind of a foundation chain. Okay, so today we're going to stop. Let's do more because I want to be consistent. Sorry about that. I want to be consistent with the number or how long this project is going to be. So we'll stop here like this. It's about the same size as last time, as the last video. Okay, and then for the first row here, okay, we're not going to work from this first chain here. We're going to be working with the second chain. Okay, so to do a single crochet, you're going to be going through that, and it's just the top string only. Yarn over, bring it through the loop, yarn over, and pull it through 2 loops on the hook like that. Okay, so that's how you do your single crochet, and you repeat that on each chain all the way to this end here, and you're working with just the front part of the chain. As you can see, this is the front of the chain. Oops, let me just do this. This is the front of the chain. It looks like that, and this is the back. So you will know what part is the back because it has these little bridges. They look like little bridges that go like this, and then on the front side it's more like a V shape and it's more flatter. Even to the touch it's more softer. The back is more rigid. That's how you know. And I do most of my project with working by the front of the chain facing me. So okay, so we're going to continue to do this all the way, okay, along this chain here. So go ahead and do yours. Do the single crochets all the way to this end, and when you're at the end, come back and I will show you how to, oops, that was not the right stitch. There you go. I will show you guys how to then start by going through just the back loop for now, and then later we'll do how to do it when you go just through the front loop. Okay, so go ahead and continue to do this. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so this is where you should be by now, which is the very second last chain of doing your single crochet. Okay, so the reason I stopped here because it's very important to go to this very last chain as well. Most people don't, and then your work becomes a little bit, you know, like uneven because you don't go to this last chain. So I stopped there so I could show you guys that you need to go there as well. So that is the first row of your single crochet. So very, very similar to the last video that I did when you're doing single crochet. So this is where things change a little bit. Okay, so if you chain one, turn your work around. Okay, going through the second row, we're going to be going through the back loop only. And by back loop only, this is what I'm talking about. Your work has these V's all along the top of this row, and each row will have them. Okay, and when I'm talking about going through the back loop only, I'm talking about going through this loop as opposed to both of these like this that we did in the last video. There's also instances where you could be working with just this front loop, but I'm going to be showing you guys for now how to go through the back loop only to do your single crochet. Okay, so now you have your chain one already. Okay, and then you're going to do your single crochet into the back loop only, just like that. And make sure this first stitch here is the first single crochet here is a little bit tight, because if you make it loose, it's gonna look loose. Okay, so there you go. Go through the two loops like that. Yarn over, go through the two loops, and then you're just going to continue to do that, but only going through the back loop of your chain, just like so. Okay, so the single crochet aspect doesn't change, except you're just going through. I don't like what I see here. I don't know what happened, so let me undo and go back, because I think I missed a little bit of string there, so it created a little bit of a weird looking space. So let's do this properly. There you go. Yep, there you go. So fix that right away. Okay, so we continue to go through just the back loop. As you can see here, single crochet doesn't change. You still do the same thing, which is go through, yarn over, go through both loops, go through your chain there, bring the yarn over and go through two loops like that. That doesn't change at all. But what will change is how your work looks. As you can see, it's really beginning to look different. There's this ridge here, there's this kind of bridge here. Okay, so this is pretty much what we're trying to accomplish with doing single crochet, but only going through the back loop. Okay, so go ahead, work and go all the way to the end here. This is the second last. This is your second last V shape here. This is the last one. So go to here. When you have worked in this one here, stop here, go back to the video. I will show you guys how to go into this final chain here. Okay, but go ahead and complete your row, which is row 2, and I'll come back and show you guys how to move along to row 3. See you guys in a second. Okay guys, so this is where you should be. Okay, this is our second row. As you can see, we have created this bump here by working just through the back loop of our chain, and as you can see in the other side, it creates that kind of a valley. Okay, so like I said, come all the way to the end, and when you have your second last chain, to stop there. And this is the reason why. Instead of going through the back loop only like this to do your single crochet, we're going to go through both loops like that to do your single crochet. The reason for that is it creates more like a straight edging here, because if you do just a single crochet, as you can see, this work is already turning like this. As you can see, you don't want it to just keep looking like you're doing like, I guess, like bumpy areas. This here will create your work. It will make your work flat on the edges, and only the middle will have these bumpy areas. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's pretty much why I do it like that. And then you will chain 1, turn your work over, and then continue to do your single crochets just going through the back loop alone. Okay, so as you can see here, and I'll show you guys. I just want to go a little bit further, so maybe halfway or less, you know, a few more, then I'll show you guys something really quick. This is a really neat stitch to do it like this. I like it a lot because you put some personality to your work, as opposed to just a single crochet that you go through the both loops and it just creates a flat project, which is, I'm not saying that's bad at all, but this one kind of gives it a little bit of a personality. So this is why. So as you can tell, in row 2 we had this bumpy area on the back like that, and now we're going to have the bumpy side on this side and the valley on this side, and this is pretty much how your work is gonna be. It's gonna be valley, bumpy, valley, bumpy. Okay, so go ahead and continue to do this until you have a particular size that will make you look at this stitch in a better light and be able to see it more. So I will do the same. I will probably do about a couple of more rows. That way I can show you guys how it actually looks when you have a little bit of more stitches done, or a little bit of more rows done. But for now we only have 2, which doesn't show too much. It does start to, you know, show us how it looks like, but I want to have a little bit more so we can see exactly how it looks like when you go through the back loop only. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you guys in a few minutes when I have the project a little bit larger. See you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so this is where I stopped here, because I think this is enough of a size for you guys to see what a single crochet looks like when you go through the back loop only. Okay, so it looked like this little, it's actually really cool. Like if you look at it close, I really love this stitch. Yeah, it looks like little valleys and then little ridges on top. Okay, so I will just quickly show you the ending here. So hopefully you did not forget this, but the last V spot, you don't go through the back only, you go through both, and this is consistently all through the rows. Okay, so I stopped there just so to remind you guys that at the end you end your work like that before you chain 1 and turn it around, and you repeat the same thing on the other side. But this is where I will stop with this tutorial here. Okay, so again, I love it. I love this. Like you could do scarf, blanket, anything with this stitch here. And again, it's super thick because it's still a single crochet, so it's still really nice and tight and not see-through. So if I was to wear this as a top, I'm just gonna put it against my skin. If I was to wear this as a top or anything like that, you could barely see through my skin. Actually, you cannot see through my skin at all. But this is pretty much how it is like, you guys. So I will end this video here. I will try to do another video soon on how to do another stitch, but I was actually thinking to do another tutorial on how this would look like if you went through the front loop. Okay, and by that I mean just this first front loop here, because if you remember, we just worked to the back. It actually does create a very similar look to this, so I don't have to show you guys how to do that, but you would pretty much do the exact same thing, but instead of going through the back loop, you go through the front. Okay, and again, when you come to the end like this, you go through both, you chain one, you turn your work around, and you continue to do your single crochets through the front loop only. So there's no need to show you guys how to do that, but in the future I may have a project that I will be doing using that stitch, and you'll be able to see. So we will end this here. I hope you guys enjoy this little how to back to basic episodes, because it does teach a lot, and hopefully you guys will learn how to do basic crochets using this tutorial. I'll see you guys in my next video. If you're new, subscribe so you don't miss anything. Comment, let me know what you guys think. Do you like that I do these little videos? If you don't, let me know. Anything that I take, I don't take it personally, so if you think this is a waste of time, let me know. But also, if you think you enjoy these little videos on how-tos, let me know too, because it will encourage me to do more if you do like it. Okay, thank you so much again. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao.